What's going on, everybody? Pete here at Spawn Fly Fish, and as you can see in front of me, it is time for some chum fry. And so today, let's tie a chum fry, quite possibly the strongest, toughest chum fry you'll ever tie. Alright everybody, so in the vise today we have a Firehole 523, and this is the size 6. For the bead, I've got the Spawn football bead, but this is a little bit small for the fly, and that's for a reason. I don't necessarily want to fish this on the bottom first thing out of the gate. So what I'm going to do is tie a series for myself, and it'll include this 5.5 millimeter bead, then I'll have some with a 6, and on up until I have the full range covered, and then I fish at what depth I want. But today I'm tying a little bit of a shallow water chum fry. So let's just get some wire wraps on there. This is 0.015, and I want 9 or 10 wraps, so there's 10. And the only reason I want a specific number like that is because I tie a bunch of these. I know roughly where that, if you forgive me, even though it's a minnow, where the thoracic region is going to be, and I know how much bulk I want and or don't want. So there we go. Slide that bad boy right up into there, clip that back portion out, and now I'm going to use the curved portion, inside portion of my dedicated wire cutting scissor to just roll that edge over, and if you see that, smooth. Now I won't cut my thread on the first 2 wraps. So let's get some thread started, and this happens to be some Veevus 140, and as you can see this is the color black, and get that tag in, trimmed out. Now, you've heard me repeat this a few times, 45-degree angle wraps up and opposite direction 45-degree angles back. I'm going to do that twice. And after that, I can come on straight ahead. Boom, boom, boom. Slightly overlapping wraps. Really get that wire secured down. Are you with me so far? Nothing crazy here on this fly, but boy is it a good one. Alright, so first thing I want to tie in now, I've got some V-rib, and this is size Nymph, color black. If you look here, I'm going to butt that up to where the wires ended, and that's where I'm going to start this. The other key here is on all V-rib or D-rib, there's an angle to the material. I want that angle facing the hook shank to start when I tie in, so that as I start wrapping, the angle's on the outside and it gives me a segmented look simply by using the material properly. Alright, so if you notice, this fly is a jig hook, and so it's going to ride like so. Why am I tying underneath it? Because I don't want to interfere with any of that hook gap. So I get it tied in a little bit. Now I'm going to tie it in more securely as I come up. Take my thread wraps past that, tie in, done. Out of the way, still ready to be the rib I want it to be. So what's going to be the body itself? This is clear vinyl rib, and this is size Midge. And as we tie this fly, you're going to be going, man, you should have upped it one size, all that good stuff. I understand what you're saying. But you got to keep in mind, these chum fry are not big. They are little guys. And that's what we're trying to keep in mind here. Small profile, thin body, and let your materials do the talking for you. Alright, so now I've got my body cover tied in, I've got my rib tied in. Now let's get that shiny minnow body look going. And what are we going to use for that? Dun 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 dun. Saltwater Flashabou, nothing crazy, color silver. Now, I'm going to tie this in so that it goes out over the hook eye. And there's a reason, and you're going to see why here in just a few seconds. So let's just get that tied in. Nothing crazy, like so. And as we come up, I'm going to pull it back and get a thread wrap in front of my flash. Why? Because we're going to wrap it back first and then wrap it to the front over itself so we get full coverage. Now, told you this is going to be a strong fly. Here we go. First application of super glue right along that thread base, And now when we wrap this flash, it's going to have something to grab onto, less slipping, easier to control. So as we go back, I'm looking for roughly touching wraps. Not overlapping by any means, but I also don't want spaced out with a bunch of big gaps in between each wrap. Just close to touching as you can get. Keep it moving because that super glue is wanting to grab it. You don't want anything crazy going on, bending the flash or anything like that. All right, so I've made it to the back. Now, I'm simply going to pay more attention on each wrap moving forward. These will be slightly overlapping wraps. And at this point, any of that super glue that was seeping through the other wraps, this is where you're going to grab that last little bit of it and utilize every drop that you put on there. So now you see we get a much cleaner, finished underbody, and we're going to go right up to the back of that bead. Turn it over, tie off. Grab that with a couple good wraps, bring it back over itself, and finish tying down. That flash is going nowhere at this point. Look at that. People are already calling. They can't wait to get this thing. All right. So now, let's start this little bit of a labor of love, and we're going to start wrapping that Midge size V-rib. Now, this might take a little time. Be patient. Be careful working around that hook point. But again, we are trying to just make the strongest possible chum fry pattern we can. Wherever you're fishing these chum fry, you know, it's going to get chewed up. And on this one, I'm looking at searun cutthroat for sure. And man, after 5-6 of those aggressive fish, you'll be glad you built a strong fly, because everybody else will be looking for another fly, and you can just keep on fishing. You don't have to skip a beat. So take your time. You can yell at me a little bit if you'd like. That's fine. I don't mind. But I can tell you in the end, you will have a clean body that is very strong. And without eating up that hook gap. Keep that in mind. You buy these hooks with perfect hook gap. Don't want to fill it in with unnecessary material. Let me turn this over just a touch. You can see our progress. Getting where I need to tie this off here, right up behind that bead. And I don't want to crowd anything. But again, not a whole lot to finish this fly, so we should be golden. A couple wraps in front. I'm going to make one wrap behind again. So I got 2 wraps to tie it off, 2 wraps in front, come back one more time, and that material is sandwiched between thread and can go nowhere. All right, so now for this rib, a counter wrap would be the typical move here. However, I'm not doing a counter wrap for strength. This is simply decorative, if you will. We're trying to emulate those little par marks on the fry. And so let's get these black bars going and evenly spaced as we go. Nothing to it. Take your time. Watch those wraps. And if you're having issues with your spacing, I'll give you the answer. It's all in your tension of your hand. So consistent pressure, whether it be with your thread or other materials, will help you to achieve those equally spaced moves. A couple wraps over, a couple wraps in front. And that thing is secured. And out it goes. All right, so there we have a very clean underbody. As our material flows over, this rib is going to show through and look like the little vertical par marks that you see on fry, or at least on chum fry. All right, so now keep in mind this is the way the fly will fish, but right now our first element, I'm going to tie in some Spawn Simi Seal, and this is silver white in Mega, and all I've done is pull the section out and, sat there and stacked it over and over until I get at least one side where the tips are fairly lined up. And keep in mind, we're tying a sparse fly here. However, we're going to veil some of the Simi. So after we veiled it, we will not capture every single fiber you see. And once we've tied it in and veiled it, then we'll remove all the fibers that are loose, and this should come out to be a really good amount to have our sparse fly. And as far as the length, I want this veil, after it's pulled back, to reach just slightly past the hook. So a bunch of the material is going to be right there. These few stragglers, I love them because nothing in nature ends on a flat line. So I'm going to just place that right here, tie that in over that hook eye, and after a couple wraps of thread, I'm simply going to slide gently this Simi to get better coverage across the entirety of that bottom half of the hook shank. So it's just going to start creeping up the sides on both sides. Once I've got that where I want it, a few more thread wraps toward the bead, and this is key. You want to always make sure all that material is up against the bead when you're doing something that's going to be veiled. And this stuff back here, if you want, you can trim it out. I like it because it's going to lend itself to building a slight taper, which is going to look much more natural on our finished fly. Next element, I've got another Spawn Simi seal. This is Chum Fry, and again, yes, it is mega. And the only reason I like the mega on this is, again, we're just going to veil it over. So on this one, all you have to do is kind of match it up on the material you have for the underside of your fly. Get that length to be at least the same, if not slightly longer, because that dorsal is just going to reach a little bit more than the underbelly. All right, same thing, get it loosely tied in with a couple wraps, and then start manipulating it around the top of the hook shank so that it comes down and meets where the sides were tied in of the underbody. A couple more wraps to secure, and then we're going to work our way up toward that bead once again. Really pull down once we've got it where we want. All right, so here's the slightly messy part of this whole deal, but I do have faith that you're going to be okay. We're just going to gently veil that top or dorsal section back, get a couple thread wraps that just catch that material, like so. So now we've got our material veiled on top, turn it over, and do the same with our underbody color. And a little pinch at the offhand, and again, just want to catch some of that material, nothing crazy. And then come back up. At this point, I'm just going to remove any of these loose fibers that did not get tied in. And as you can see, this is why we start with a little bit more material than what we think we'll actually need. And you can sit here and preen and pick at this thing all day if you want. But for right now, let's just get this fly finished. So, loose fibers are out. I'm really paying attention here to maintaining a clean thread neck, because we still have some more to go. But for now, this part is done. And so normally we use 2 whip finishes. We're going to be using some resin today. So one really clean whip finish is sufficient. And there we are. Snug that down and get that tag end removed. Voila. And there is our little chum fry so far. I'm going to do what everybody loves. I'm going to take this fly off camera. I do have a handy dandy bit of water sitting here, and so let's wash them real quick, get all those fibers lined up where they need to be, and I'll pop it back in theory. And there we are. Now you can see that V-rib really shows through if you don't overcrowd your semi-seal material. All right, so now for our last little trick here. I've got some of the new 3D eyes from Hareline. These are the oval pupil 3D eyes. And so this is size 4mm or 3/16 inch. And these are the pearl black. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use all of this stuff that I've done previous as my new way to measure what I have to do moving forward. Where the thread meets the semi-seal, I want my eyes to sit half on the thread, half on the body. And so first thing I'm going to hit a little dollop of Superglue Gel right where I described, halfway on the thread, halfway on the semi. And now from here, I'll place those eyes. After I have them placed, I'm gonna move ahead into some resin. And for today, I'm using Loon Thin Clear. And I will cover those eyes in 2, maybe 3 different little additions of resin. And then that'll be it. But just so you don't have to sit there and endure that, in a second here, we'll switch over to the tech world and put it in full fast forward and get that head or the resin part done. So just for now, and there you are. Squeeze these eyes once they're perfectly lined up. Get them sitting flush with the body, like so. All right, it's time for some resin. All right, so now we're curing up the second layer of resin. That'll do it for this fly. I don't think anything's gonna crunch through that much resin. If they do, well, be sure we will have a picture of it posted at some point on Instagram for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. There's our little tougher than nails chum fry. Get out after these cutthroat and everything else that rely on these little fish to survive. And if you guys like this video, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and we will see you on the water.